How to thrive being the single friend. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all so much. If you enjoy my videos, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and make sure you turn those post notifications on so you're aware when I post another video. Let's get into it. I want to give you a little bit of context around this video because there was a time where I was feeling like I was lacking so much being the single friend around the people around me. I was feeling like I was lacking without a relationship, and connecting with some of you on social media and Instagram, I find that this is a common theme across a lot of people that are single, and some of you have talked to me around that feeling like you're missing out on something without having a significant other when all your friends might have that as well. Today I'm going to talk about how I overcame this and how you can learn to love yourself and not feel like you're lacking. And finally, I'm going to talk about how you can celebrate this season of your life and really feel grateful for this time in your life. Step number one to how to thrive in being the single friend is to find friends in a similar or the same season of life as you. So if that means that you're single and you want to find people that are also single, or people that might be in relationships but have a lot of time where they can dedicate that time to you and spend time with you as well, gravitate towards those people and find those people in your life. Finding friends in a similar season of life to you ensures that you are not comparing yourself to others and feeling like you're lacking, and you start to realize that there are other people out there that are in similar seasons of life to you compared to the friends that might be around you that are all in relationships. So it does make you feel a lot better as well. And I think finding friends that you can relate to in whatever season of life that you are in pushes you to make connections outside of just dating. So I know when you're dating, you do have to make a lot of connections, but when you are finding friends and making those connections, I just feel like they're so meaningful because there's no agenda and you're just seeing whether you vibe. Okay, step number two is loneliness versus solitude. I know it can be lonely sometimes, but honestly, find your solitude and spend time with yourself. There's a lot of times that you don't get to do this, and so I think it's so special when you do get that time where you can really dedicate that time to yourself and you can really enjoy that time. So I personally love to take myself on solo dates, and I absolutely love romanticizing my life and romanticizing all the things around me and what I get to do. And I really think of it as I get to do this, not that I have to do it. Like I said, I love taking myself on solo dates. That could be solo coffee, or it could literally be I've got a concert coming up that I'm going to on my own and I'm so excited for it. You could literally do anything and do it solo. And I think it's also a time that you can really tune in with yourself internally and see what's going on. So spending that time journaling, looking within, spending time with your own thoughts and your feelings and your intuition, and seeing where that takes you as well. It's really a time that you won't get back again. If you are looking to find that significant other and you're looking for a long-term relationship, you're not going to get that solitude the way that you have it now. So really enjoy this season of your life. The next thing is to learn to nourish yourself with or without a relationship. So that means to learn to look after yourself, as in looking after your mind, body, things like taking yourself to the gym or doing some sort of physical activity in the day, eating healthy, drinking plenty of water, spending time connecting with people, having the right amount of sleep, really taking care of yourself and nourishing yourself. It's so important to not just have a glow up phase in the hopes of finding someone, or a glow up phase in when you have found someone, or looking and feeling good to impress someone. It's so important to do it for yourself. So I feel like when you show up for yourself and look after yourself in all these ways every single day, you're really showing up for yourself and nourishing yourself, and people will see that. So if you are looking for someone, people are going to see that energy coming out of you and they'll want to be around you. But if you're not looking for anyone, you should give yourself that love every single day. And a part of giving myself love is nourishing myself. I think this next one is so important, but it's so important to figure out your own identity outside of a relationship. So really figuring out who you are. And the best mindset shift that has enabled this for me is realizing that I am whole as myself. So I am a complete whole, and if something else comes along, you want that to better your life and enhance it, but you don't want it to complete your life. Everything I do has purpose and meaning, and I absolutely love so many aspects of my life that it would really take someone and something special to allow me to change things in my life, to allow for someone else to come in, because I feel so whole on my own that like whatever comes in is an addition. And that's the way you really need to see it, and seeing yourself as a whole is so important. And it's so important to realize that a relationship should not be our default. We should not rely on someone else, and we really need to work on our own solitude. And I know there was a speaker that talked about this, but I cannot remember who it was. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but we've come to a point in society where we seem to question, oh, how come you're single? Or you're too pretty to be single? Or it's almost as if something's wrong with you if you are single, where society's kind of taught us that the default should be a relationship, and otherwise it's like there's something wrong. I seem to question that because I'm like, I love my solitude, and I think we need to change that norm to the default should be being on your own, and if something better comes along, you go for it, but otherwise enjoy that solitude. I feel like society seems to encourage us to be thinking we're lacking something if we're not in a relationship. Okay, the next thing is, rather than thinking about your situation as lacking or missing something, prioritize fun and prioritize all the things that you want to do, because now is your time and now is your chance. Like, when else do you get the chance to be this selfish with your time? It's so special to be able to go, I want to do this, and you don't have to think about anyone else. You can literally go and do it. I think it's such a good time to take yourself outside of your comfort zone, do the things that you might have thought that I would never get to do that, and also be unapologetically yourself. Like, you get to express yourself in whatever way you want to, and I think that's just so special. If there are quirks and things about you that you may not love or may not fully embrace, I think it's the time that you can really think about it, hone in on it, and cherish that part of you, because it's that time where you can be unapologetically yourself and you can really step into the power of who you are, with your solitude, with your selfish mindset around your time, the people around you, things that you get to do. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is setting boundaries. So it's so okay, and it's so important to set boundaries around the amount of time you want to spend around certain people and around certain situations. So if you're finding that you do get drained after a long period of time spending time around people who are coupled up, it's okay to say, I don't want that, and I want to be spending time with other people on my own. The other thing you can set boundaries around for yourself is conversations that you might not want to engage in, or you feel that they're going to drain you. You are allowed to step away from conversations as well. So setting boundaries is actually so important. And finally, the last thing I wanted to leave you with is that learning to thrive being the single friend, or being the person who is single in a group, it can take time. It can take a lot of introspection to be like, where are these thoughts and ideas coming from? And it doesn't happen overnight. So honestly, it's a lot of trial and error to be like, what sort of works for me, what doesn't, what's the best ways to set boundaries, who do I want to hang out with, who makes me feel expansive and who makes me feel contracted. I think it's just so important to sit in those feelings and figure out exactly what it is that you're feeling. But yeah, so it is a process and it takes time, and it definitely doesn't happen overnight. But I hope that these few pointers do help you on your journey to being comfortable and being happy and thriving as a single person in a group, or just as a single person in general, because honestly, it's such a beautiful time in your life, but I feel like society says otherwise. And with that, that's the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I would love if you do connect with me on Instagram or any other socials. I would love to connect with you guys. But thank you, and stay tuned for the next video.